All right, so no different today than every Monday. We went out last night, got the corrections from Saturday's game, and moved on to Charlotte. And we're excited about taking one more step in the 2015 season against a Charlotte football team that really has had opportunities to win. They're 2-4, but they've had a lot of opportunities to win games. They played well enough to really win against FAU, Old Dominion, Temple. Turned it over a bunch in Middle Tennessee, and that didn't give them a chance. But they're really good on defense. They're number one in our conference in rush defense. Give you a lot of different looks. And then offensively, they've moved the football. That hasn't been the problem. It's and we've been there in the past when you're trying to get it going. Scoring touchdowns or not turning it over. So it's going to be a real challenge for us. An early game, we're going to have to get up early and get off to a fast start. But we've had 7 really good weeks of practice and preparation, and I don't anticipate this will be any different. The good news is when you start winning, every game becomes important. This is whatever UTSA was. This is more important. Why? Because it's to try and get 5. That's all that matters now is our week of preparation and going to play a good football team. And Coach Lambert's done a great job. They've got a good team. They play hard, and so we're excited about this week.
Questions? Coach Duggan talked a little bit last week about how we asked him about what the difference was on defense and things, and he talked about how the guys are starting to kind of get it. He's not just having to teach the basics or whatever, they're kind of starting to get it. After the game, most of the players were talking, a lot of the common theme was playing for each other and understanding the importance of doing the little things to help the other guy and that sort of thing.
I think that's all a part of it. I think first you have to have enough talent. You have to have enough guys that can make plays, and we have that now. So we have talent, okay? So it starts with that premise. And then having the right guys that take the approach every week of being engaged in meetings, of putting in the extra time, working in practice, feeling their energy in practice, not getting through practice, but really attacking practice, which we have had. And sure, we've got, Elijah Parker, Brian Anderson, they were first-year guys last year. Now you throw in Mustafa and Bolton and Yancey, who didn't play much at all. Actually redshirted, and you've got Denarius Antoine and Picasso at a different spot. You've got all these guys that are just starting to kind of it all fit together. So, but it's a week-to-week thing. I say it all the time. It's just 4 or 5 weeks ago, hey, you expect a high-scoring game. So one thing we can't do is forget how we got to where we're at, and that is by working hard, anticipating success, and being confident. But that confidence comes through preparation. What you do during the week, how you prepare, leads to your confidence. And then having it all fit together, playing well offensively, scoring points, so your opponent has to throw it. And we're athletic up front where we can get after people.
But on offense too, like DJ was talking after the game about how he's all the time telling Mike, 1-2 punch, 1-2 punch. And then Jalen talked about how he and Ito are feeding off each other and that sort of thing. And everybody's kind of just understanding that if we all work together, things are going to work out.
Well, it's a compliment to those guys and our offensive staff. There's only one ball. I mean, you can't, when one carries it, the other guys have to play the rear ends off for each other. And that's just the way it works. And so it's nice to have guys that you feel like multiple guys that can make plays. DJ went a couple of weeks and really didn't have a lot of opportunities and kept working hard. And so that's the nature of that position. You can go weeks and, with Casey and Mike and him where, one guy seems to get a few more balls just based on who you play. It just works out that way. And but I have not seen anybody at a selfish position, which skill positions are selfish now. They want the ball. I get that, and they should. But there's only one of it, and I think our guys have done a great job of understanding that and still working.
Coach, with DJ coming on like he has in the last 3 weeks, does that make things even easier for you game planning where the opposing defense has to account for not only Mike, they have to account for Casey, and now DJ's coming on strong?
I think the more guys you have that can make plays, it's beneficial to your team. I mean, that's no question. DJ continues to play like he's been playing, and we keep developing those younger receivers, so if they have to go in the game, that your quarterback feels comfortable more than anything. You know, there's certain times in a game where, you know, if you have an elite player where a defense might do things to take them away, but really it comes down to the confidence of your quarterback. You know, sometimes if he doesn't have the confidence to look that way or go that way, then it hinders your offense as much as it does what the defense will do to take them away.
Coach, after the game the other day, you talked about how you were better than UTSA. And then you talked about the good news when you start winning every game you go for it. You had a chance to sit back and just think about where you were 2 years ago to where you are now.
Not very often do I really want to think about 2 years ago. But like I said a few weeks ago, I said, you want to humble yourself, go back and look at some film from 2013, you know. But we don't do that. We just move forward. I'm doing it better. The changes that we've made have made us better. Having more talent has made us better. The culture we've created, the guys, has added to that. So I don't really... Did I know that going into the game against UTSA that it would go that way? No, because of how they played against Colorado State, played against La Tech, but you know, playing them at home, and we got after them pretty good. So, you know, but I don't reflect back that often. At least I try not to.
And in those last couple of years before this one, you probably learned a lot about your team and how to respond to losing. So now at 4 wins, kind of uncharted territory, how have you seen them respond to winning?
Well, first of all, you know, I learned more in those 2 years than I've learned in the other 25 years of coaching. How to continue to every day bring it and be positive and keep recruiting. And that's what our job is to continue to find a way. And were we always perfect at it? No. And then if you need to change, change. Make changes where they need to be made to keep pushing your program forward, which we did. So, you know, right now, what is it? Yes, that's a part of it. When you start winning is, you know, is to get laxed. That's human nature. Human nature is when you're down is to quit and say to heck with it, or when you're successful, you get laxed and you just kind of settle. Well, that's something we can't do. We're in no position to settle. Like I said, we have 4 wins. That's where we're at. Till the season, like I told our team the other night, like every game, crazy things happen at the end of games. Till that clock rings 0, you've got to maintain your focus. We've got to play 6 seconds. We've got to fight. Okay, because just look at this past weekend. Look at the Louisiana Tech game against UTSA. They had dominated them in the first half. 3 drives later in the second half, it's a game. And now you're fighting and scratching and clawing. So how do you maintain that focus for a game throughout a game? Same with the Michigan State game. How crazy is that? It's till that thing rings 0, that game is, we're still going. Same in the season. Till that season, it doesn't ring 0, but till it ends, what we have is right now, we have 4 wins. It's not over yet. There is no preparing for what can be. What we have is Charlotte this week to try and get 5. That's it. What they do defensively, what they do offensively, what they do special teams. And that is our job as coaches, and it's a hard job, is when you're down, is building it back up and not shutting it down. And when you're successful, which is same in life, is to settle. We've arrived. We got this. No, we don't. You can't carry over points. You can't carry over statistics. You can't just carry that over and say, oh, we just take the average, we'll be fine. Charlotte's turned the ball over. Does that mean they'll turn over this weekend? I don't know that. We have to prepare like they won't. And the same with us. We've turned it over, whatever it is, 9 times the last 2 weeks. Are they counting on that we're going to turn it over 4 or 5 times a game? I hope not. You know, so those are the things. It's this week. It's Charlotte's this week. What do they pose? What do we have to do to keep our team focused?
Last week you said your message was to the seniors. You only have so many more weeks to go. What's the message this week?
It's the same. I mean, that's part of it is, you know, now we got 6 weeks, 5 weeks, and a bye week for our seniors that have played football since they've been little kids. And then the rest of our team, you don't know. You don't know what next week brings. You don't know what tomorrow, next week, 2 months from now, next year. Your team changes. This 2015 team is going to be drastically different. It is all the time. You have changes. Coaching changes. You have player changes. Let's make this year special. We've got all the pieces. We've got good players. We've got good coaches. There's no reason it can't be if we understand what it takes on a daily basis, on a every rep, every practice, every game. If we take it that step, then we'll be fine.
And you were just talking about ball security and the fact that you guys have a lot of students. This week, how do you tell your guys that ball security is important for Charlotte?
Oh, it's no different. I mean, it's not like all of a sudden, certain things you can emphasize more. Certain things, a week ago was fumbles, some by Nick and 2 by our skill guys, and then this week it was poor decisions by Nick. So it's a combination of it. We want to be explosive. We move the football. There have been many games we haven't. So that hasn't been the issue. It's just, and really for the first 5 weeks we didn't have a problem with it. At one point I think we had 5, and now all of a sudden we fired up 9. That's something. But again, that's something that we harp on, something we work on every day, and something we've got to get back to.
Coach, when you broke down this Charlotte film and started looking at them, is there anything that's kind of intriguing on either offense or defense that they do that's a little different than what you may have seen to this point in the season?
Offensively, I wouldn't say so, and I'm not saying that they're not good at what they do. I don't mean it that way. They pose a lot of problems with the things they do offensively, and having the quarterback run stuff and the hybrid stuff built in. But defensively is a little bit different because they give you some multiple looks, and they'll bring people from different edges, and it forces you to, it's good football. Try to get you in long yardage situations. Lost yardage plays a big, and getting to the quarterback, disrupting the quarterback is a way to put teams in second long, third long, get off the field. So they've done a nice job of that. So we've got to be really sound in what we do and eliminate some of those things that could put you in long yardage situations. That's probably just the multiple looks they give you defensively.
The players were talking after the game, or at least Mike was, and I've heard some other ones talk about how you stress not looking at the scoreboard during the game, just play the play and the points will come, sort of thing. I mean, if you could just talk about that.
Well, everybody talks about never looking at the scoreboard. The question is, do you fight human nature? Everything we do in life is fighting human nature. It's, okay, I'm in a meeting and we start off the week talking football. Okay, am I drifting? Am I taking great notes? Am I dialed in? Am I asking questions? Am I engaged? Am I really taking advantage of these moments to really learn your opponent? Okay, like it's my job to do that. Like I want to be a part of something special. Then it's on the field. When I'm not getting reps, am I still dialed in? Or am I? Human nature is nowadays with the phone, and I mean our attention spans anymore. Mine, yours, our players is so short. Instant. You want something, or if not, they go elsewhere with their minds. How do we fight human nature? Then, whether it's walkthroughs, then it's in the game. How do I fight not looking in the crowd? How do I fight not when things are going well, not, just, hey, boy, we got this, or the score, or no, because the next series is different. Each play is different. Within itself, each play is different. Every series, you can stop a team and go 3 and out 4 straight times. All it takes is 3 drives, and that's 21 points. And that's it. And you look back and you go, what just happened? Well, that's why you got to just keep fighting that. It's like, no, here we go again, spot the ball. On either side of the ball. Stay aggressive, stay in the moment, which is, we'll have plenty of time to celebrate. We'll have plenty of time to worry about the end. Till that thing rings 0, it's constantly bringing your guys back to that moment. Whether you're down or you're up, it doesn't matter. It's, you can get back into it, or you can finish it if you stay in the moment.
You just said it, and I've heard a lot of your players say it throughout the course of this year, spot the ball. Can you kind of talk about that mantra that you guys have?
Well, it started with Pete Golding, and kind of talked to our team and kind of brought that up. I think it's a good way to put it. Spot the ball, put it down. Let's go play. It doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter whether you're going and playing in front of 5,000 people or you're going in front of 90,000 people. It's the same. The game is the same. Teams pose different problems, but let's go play. If you like to play, let's go play. And show that you like to play.
Anything else? Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.